Hi guys, welcome to Dine at Home, your 5th week I think of the year. Thank you so much to everyone who's purchased a box this week guys. I think we've sold the last 2 boxes literally about an hour ago. So thank you so much guys for another sellout. This year has started and continues to be incredible. So guys, you are the reason for that. So thank you so much. And equally, we're going to just change the video a little bit as well, focus a bit more on the food so you can physically see me actually plating the dishes a bit closer, and I might seem a little bit closer. I know the camera seems a lot closer to me, so that's it. But yeah, so hopefully the video, the quality of the video and the sound and so on and so forth is just a little bit better. So without further ado guys, I'll just explain your bread straight away. You don't need to physically see this down here. So we've got a beautiful white again. We've got a load of compliments on this, sort of a country farm white loaf, which simply just comes out of the packaging straight into your oven at 180 degrees for 5 minutes until it warms through and goes nice and crunchy and crispy on the outside. And then finally our return of our beautiful signature Marmite butter. Obviously leave that at room temperature and that will soften beautifully and equally go with your bread course, which you can eat on its own or equally eat with the starter. So on to the starter guys. This week you've got a real nice wholesome starter, something that I absolutely love, and only me and Mike were speaking the other day about it. I think ham hocks and terrines and so on have just been sort of thought of that it's a pub fare and so on and so forth, but it's not. It's a delicious, incredible ingredient that we've created a little crispy frittatum. So pan down on this one and we can go through absolutely everything for you. So first of all, you'll get a ham hock fritter, which obviously inside you may see the breadcrumbs. Obviously it's been deep fried completely, so you may see the breadcrumbs have slightly sort of got a little bit moist. So simply place that onto a greaseproof piece of paper and probably put it on the side where it's most crispy still. So probably stand it up either way, put it on that side then, and it just allows the majority of the fritter to get nice and crispy. Alternatively, you can obviously reheat it in that little container that's supplied there. You got a beautiful Pierre Kaufmann potato salad in there. So I'll just rip off the lid for you. This is for one person, so obviously the 2s will be more and 3s will even be more than that. Underneath you've got some beautiful fresh parsley, and we call this denatured. It's denatured shallots, so we just take the raw veg off them a little bit, completely unseasoned. So you season this, which I'll go through later on plating, but simple. There is parsley, shallot and potato salad. Then we've included, which isn't on the menu, but we've included this lovely little dressing to go with the potatoes, which again I'll show you later how to plate that. But simply a nice little mix around so it emulsifies back together, which it will do in seconds. We've been quite generous with that guys, so just use, later on I'll show you how to plate it, but just use what you need, don't overdo it, because we don't want to ruin the dish at all. And then for your starter, French's mustard style mayonnaise, which we've incorporated into the mayonnaise itself, goes so nice and delicious with the ham hock. So join me in about 4 to 5, maybe 5 to 6 minutes, just basically just to reheat this. As soon as it's reheated, join me after, and then we'll obviously go through the plating with it. So I'm going to pop this in the oven for 6 minutes and join me after this comes out for the plating. Okay guys, so my 6 minute time, I put on for 6 minutes in the end, so the 6 minute time has just gone off. So I'm just going to get that out of the oven, and then I will show you how to do the salad and equally how to plate the starter as well. There we are. So maybe some of the residual oil will come off, but as you can see, you can probably hear it's nice and crispy on the outside. But again, if you want it crispier or hotter or whatever, just obviously do that for a little bit longer in the oven. So tilt down the Mikey, and what I can do is I'll show you how to do the potato salad and equally how to plate it. But obviously the luxury of these boxes is the fact that you can actually do it obviously however you want. And equally keep tagging me in all these pictures you do guys, because I tell you what, the Valentine's boxes went wild, so I really appreciate all the tagging. So as you can see, the potato salad's in there with the shallots and the parsley. This hasn't been seasoned at all, so please make sure you just pop a little bit of salt on there to your desired liking, and equally the same with the pepper. I love black pepper, but again that's very personal, so I certainly wouldn't recommend everyone to do that if you don't like that heat or that spice, but I personally quite like that heat coming through. So once again, giving the little salad dressing a little spin, so it's all emulsified, just like that, and then just a little bit. You don't need, I said you don't need loads. This is for one person anyway. I'm not going to use it all. It's in there, and it can save for a later day, and equally for another dish. So that, very gently, just toss it around. Obviously the potatoes are quite fragile, so make sure you're just gentle with that. So all you want to do is mix it up, so make sure it's all nicely coated. That's a beautiful, vibrant potato salad in there, just like that. You've obviously got your ham hock, which is nice and crispy. So we'll just pop that. I'm going to pop that on sort of sideways, but just a little bit off centre, so it allows me to sort of almost allows the potato salad to sort of fall off of it. But I will plate the majority of the potato salad on it. Again, we've probably gone quite heavy with the potato salad, with the potatoes especially. So again, don't feel you have to use every single one, because you don't want to sort of take the flavour away from the ham hock itself. So I'll just sort of finish off with a couple of those rings of shallots, which look lovely actually. I do like shallots, especially when they're just slightly sort of, I said, we call it denatured, and it just means it's taking that raw edge off. I think it's lovely. And then basically you've got the mustard mayonnaise. Again, if you've got a bottle at home that you can put it into, obviously put that for the dots or a little piping bag. But you know, again, I'm a firm believer of it's all about the flavour, not how it tastes, not how it looks. So a nice little spoon of that right on the side. It's nice and thick as well. That is actually. So that will hold up really, really nicely. And then I'll just move all these out of the way so you can see a nice picture of it. And that's how I personally will plate the starter. Just like that, just a little bit off centre. Beautiful crispy ham hock, which is obviously seasoned with whole grain mustard. Then your potato salad, Kaufman's potato salad mixed with slightly denatured shallots, and your parsley with obviously the salad dressing. And then finally the mustard, the French cheese mustard style mayonnaise. Guys, join me after this for your main course, and I thoroughly hope you enjoy your starter. Okay guys, so hope you enjoyed your starter, beautiful seasonal salad. Onto your main course, which is another banging seasoned ingredients, which is a lovely confit duck leg. So we get the duck legs obviously in whole, we trim them, the majority of the fat, we brine them for 24 hours, then we cook them in some duck fat for about 12-15 hours, depending on obviously their size. And the garnish is again really in season. Blood oranges, chicory, celeriac, all literally in season right now. So tilt down and we can have a nice look at the ingredients and what you'll get for your main course box. So first of all is obviously your delicious duck leg, your confit duck leg, which will arrive. We've taken this, we've actually taken this bone out here. This is completely boneless, but obviously the main bone in here, which is the drumstick essentially, that bone is obviously intact, but this one is out. So that's obviously the duck leg. Then you have a beautiful wedge of salt baked celeriac, which has actually been salt baked, and then we've cooked in some duck fat as well. It's super delicious. This is your chicory. I think there's probably some people out there who've never had chicory before. It's like an endive, it's like a salad, but obviously it's really rooty, so it can handle some high temperatures and high cooking. This is obviously half one. The majority of you guys will get a full one, which requires you to halve it, and then we just roast the inside of it there. But as you can see, that's the orange caramel that's gone in, which is just absolutely delicious. But again, I'll show you how to reheat that, because we do reheat it in the same pan as the duck, but we actually remove the duck and the celeriac first before adding that into it. A little bit of the blood orange ketchup, that's super acidic, so please give that a taste before you start putting it onto your plate, because I said it is really strong. Beautiful roasted celeriac puree, done the same as always, beurre noisette butter, and then roasted celeriac in there with a little bit of veg stock. And then finally a beautiful hazelnut and duck skin crumble, which we put some chicken skin through it as well, because obviously there's not many ducks being sold at the moment in comparison to when restaurants are open, so we're a little bit short on that, so we've topped it up. It's 50-50 chicken and duck skin. So that's it. So guys, come over and I will show you how to reheat your duck skin, your duck leg, and also your celeriac. My pan has been on for about 2 to 3 minutes on a low heat, as always. That will be ready to go pretty much straight away. And for your chicory, which is obviously here, I'm just going to slip that across and then take the chicory out very gently, but leave the caramel inside and take it all over, because we will use the caramel in the same pan. Okay, so while I'm doing that, come on over and I will show you exactly how to heat your duck up. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, my chicory heart is there, the liquor is just behind, still in the bag, the celeriac and my duck is there as well. So it's on a low heat. We want it reasonably high, so put a little bit of veg oil in. I always use veg oil. Sunflower oil is absolutely fine. I know some people like rapeseed oil as well. But try to stick away from the flavoured oils like extra virgin. It's just a little bit too, well, the quality is too good for cooking, if I'm being brutally honest. So make sure you do just obviously keep it as a vegetable oil. I'll just knock that back up now And what we want to do is we want to cook it on this skin side here. You don't really want to show the heat too much to this side, because the actual meat will go a little bit sort of crispy and tough. If you like that, it's absolutely fine, do so. But our main focus is to ensure that this starts to crisp up and colour up. Okay, so we pop that in, and that should be pretty much straight away. And again, always stay in control of the heat. Again, you can start to probably see that the smoke's just collected on the outside. I don't want this to get too hot. So at the start, I will start it nice and hot. But again, if it starts to blister and get a little bit too dark for my own liking, obviously I'll turn the heat of the pan either down or even on. Just have a little check. As you can see, it starts to go nice and golden straight away. There will be a bit of the duck fat that will come off the leg anyway, essentially because that's what it was cooked in. So there will be some of the duck fat to come off, so you might end up with a bit more oil in the pan than you started, but that's absolutely fine, there's no issue with that at all. Again, the celeriac isn't colouring up too heavily just yet, so we'll keep that high heat then. The duck is covering up beautifully, so that's what we've got about another minute at the most in. And then the celeriac is just starting to colour up there now beautifully as well. So I'll knock that down, because the residual heat of that pan will keep that going beautifully. I'll just put that celeriac in a bit more of that duck fat, just essentially come off just to get that colour going. Just see that now. So that's the sort of colorisation that you're sort of wanting on your duck skin. There, it's absolutely perfect. But you're more than welcome to sort of turn it round and obviously try and get the corners, but yeah, it's quite tricky to get every single bit coloured. As long as the main part of that duck's coloured, that's all you've got to really worry about. And the same with the celeriac, just make sure that's nice and coloured like that. And once you get that type of colour, I like to just put a couple of knobs of butter in, but again, it's totally personal. By all accounts, you can take it out, pop it onto its tray, and that's absolutely fine. But I always think date nights, you know, it's deserving of a little bit of fat, a little bit of butter, and it gives a lovely sort of colorisation to it all as well. But just on that side, just a little bit of butter on the top skin bit, a little bit on the celeriac, and that's pretty much it. That's all you want to do. As I said previously, you don't want to leave it on that flesh side for too long, because it will go really, really crispy. And that's it. So that's your roasted celeriac and your roasted duck leg. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to discard this fat and the oil and the butter. You can put a little bit on top if you would like to, just a little bit here and there, and then discard the rest of the fat. It is quite fatty. And then we'll come back and I'll do the chicory for you in 2 seconds. Okay, there's no real need to clean it. It's just discarding the majority of that fat, because the butter essentially will go a little bit dark. So that flesh side in, so if you've halved it, obviously the inside won't be that coloured, it'll be more whiter, but the outside will certainly, sorry about the noise, will certainly be that coloured. Obviously the liquid is making that sound, so be careful when you place it in. And we just want to get just a little bit of colour to that chicory. That's all we want to do, is put a little bit of colour to the chicory. Because of the sugar that is cooked in, the caramel, it will caramelise up straight away, okay, literally straight away. So just getting a little bit of that colour on there, and then we go in with the reduction, well, with the jus, essentially the caramel as well. Don't be scared of the noise, it all happens. And the main aim of this is to reduce that liquor right down. So we want to reduce that to a syrup again. Because essentially it's a caramel with chicory juice. So now we just want to very gently caramelise that back down, and as soon as it's caramelised, we'll place it back onto our tray here, and we'll reheat them all at the same time. It's starting to disappear. You'll see it will start to get really thick, just like a syrup, just like a sugar syrup. As soon as it starts, you'll smell it as well. It smells absolutely delicious, like orangey, chicory, sort of there's a bitterness there as well with the caramel. Don't take it too far. You don't want to get it obviously black, but this is exactly the type of syrup we want, nice and thick. Okay, so just like that, when it starts coating, that's exactly what we're looking for. Flip it over, drop it on the tray, and then that's when you can use a little bit of that caramel then, just to place on top. And that's it, simple as that. So you've got your celeriac wedge, your duck leg, and your chicory, which has got a beautiful thick orange syrupy caramel on top. We've obviously got our blood orange and our celeriac puree along with our crunch. The only thing that you need to heat up other than this is the celeriac puree, which I'd recommend in the microwave for 30 seconds. The crumble and the orange ketchup is for room temperature, and obviously your duck sauce as well needs to go on the stove and heat it up. And that's it, guys. So join me. This will take about 8 to 10 minutes, obviously depending on the duck leg. 8 to 10 minutes. So join me in that time, and I'll go through the plating with you then. Okay, guys. So the timer has just gone off on the duck leg, chicory, and celeriac. So I'll bring that out. I'll I've just put my sauce on, which you can potentially hear just sizzling away. Make sure we don't catch that too much. We don't want to catch it at all. This is the completely wrong stove for such a small pan, but it's pointless putting such a small amount of sauce in a large pan. So I'll get the tray out of the oven now. Oh wow, it smells absolutely delicious. As you can see, the chicory is completely roasted back up. So that's nice and soft. And what I did forget to tell you is what I've just started the video with the sauce. So this, you'll obviously have one of these sauces, so please don't think that you've got something you shouldn't have. You should have one of these, which I've heated, which I completely forgot to mention to you before. Okay, so be careful of the tray. Obviously make sure it's on a nice heat-proof surface. I have just done the celeriac puree as well, so you can see that's nicely almost boiled up in the microwave. Ketchup I've left alone, gets at room temperature, and then your lovely crunch also at room temperature. That's fine to go in the fridge when your box arrives, the crunches, so don't worry about putting that in the fridge. Probably the best place for it, to be fair, but it can equally stay out as well. Just going to check out my sauce finally, that's all melted and come to heat as well. So I'm just going to pull it off gently, so that'll just stick over. Okay, so as you can see guys, the bones completely become clean on there as well, so it's all come away because it's that high heat, and then you can just see the ducks are super soft, all ready to go there. Again, same with the celeriac. Flip it over because the sort of oil will colour that beautifully that side, and then you can just see a beautiful piece of chicory. I do love chicory, to be fair. You can just neaten those sides back up on there as well. So plating, guys, as I always say, is totally up to you. I would just probably get a little bit of height, maybe with your duck leg, with the duck bones, to sort of showcase that off. You can also just sort of tear that sort of fat knuckle piece off as well, so it really cleans that bone up, so it looks even nicer. If obviously you would like to, but again, that's obviously totally up to you. So I'm just going to place my celeriac onto the plate first, just off centre. Very similar sort of position to where I placed the ham hock fritter actually. Then I'm just going to pop my duck leg almost leaning off that. It's nice and clean, but leaning off that. Then I'm just going to pop my celeriac puree. You can see that okay, Mike? Yep, celeriac puree just at the base of the plate. It's quite a lot of puree this is actually, don't need quite that much because it'll acting as a sauce, but that just at the base of the plate there. I'll discard that spoon because I've got puree all over. Then with your chicory, I'm going to sort of place that up against that side, just get a little bit of that caramel as well. Now just discard that spoon, and then you've got your beautiful blood orange ketchup. I said just give it a go just before, because I said it is super strong. It's an absolutely delicious flavour, but it's slightly spiced with 5 spice flavour as well. But I said it is absolutely delicious, really delicious. And you've got your lovely crumble, which essentially you just want to sort of go on top and just allow a little bit to sprinkle around. Again, we haven't been shy with the crumble at all, because essentially it's a nice bit of texture to it. Got asbestos hands, so pick up the tray. I wouldn't recommend doing that, guys, at all. And then finally, your lovely sauce, which we've left, we haven't reduced it to like a syrup. It's left with super tasty, really ducky, beautiful flavour. And then just very simply just pour that sort of all over your dish, but mainly focusing purely just on the duck leg itself. It goes all around like that. And there, guys, is your finished dish. Absolute stonker, beautiful seasonal dish, which is a stunning piece of duck leg, confit duck leg, which we've roasted back up obviously in the oven, roasted piece of celeriac, an orange caramelised chicory with roasted celeriac puree, blood orange ketchup, your beautiful hazelnut and duck skin crumble, finished off with a nice rich duck sauce. Guys, join me in a couple of minutes after you finish that for your dessert. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed your main course as always. So on to your dessert, which is one of my favourite tarts, which is a beautiful treacle tart. We've scented this with a bit of orange zest, and again, perfectly beautiful seasonal menu, this one, with beautiful Yorkshire rhubarb as well. So we'll focus down onto this and I will show you the ingredients. So you have Tom's video tart. Yours won't actually say that, it's just for mine, So you have a beautiful tart inside, which is this one obviously. Mine's slightly cracked, so hopefully yours isn't. Obviously we can't be responsible for the courier, so we do apologise if obviously yours is cracked a little bit on the side, but again, it will not remotely change the flavour of this. So it's a beautiful baked treacle tart. As I said, we've scented with orange. And you have a beautiful Yorkshire compote with loads of Tahitian vanilla in there as well, which Mike has done and seasoned it slightly with some star anise and cinnamon, and then you have a beautiful rhubarb ice cream with Tahitian vanilla again, which literally is just pureed rhubarb. That's it in going into there. So there's no additives or anything. It's just a beautiful rhubarb ice cream, which I actually say it's like rhubarb yogurt, almost like a fromage frais. So basically, definitely you can heat it, you can eat it cold if you would like to, or room temperature, but I would 100% recommend flashing it through the oven for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, just to gently soften that lovely treacleness to the centre. But equally for the video, I'm just going to obviously plate it on there because you don't need me to heat it up for the video. But again, yeah, just in the oven, 4 minutes is absolutely fine. Again, guys, you can plate this how you want. I would suggest to either plate it centrally and then place the compote on top and then your ice cream, and then you obviously break into it and through it. Or alternatively, you can do what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put the rhubarb compote slightly to the side and then rest the ice cream on top of that. But again, guys, you can do whatever you feel right. The compote, we haven't got any liquid in the compote at all, which is the natural juices of the rhubarb and a little bit of sugar just to take that harshness away from the rhubarb. So again, it is just a real pure flavour. And then with your ice cream, obviously I'll do a nice little scoop because I don't want to go into all the portions that we've already done. So a nice little scoop just off centre where I would go. If it comes off the spoon, there we are. Beautiful, not my best, but who cares? As I always say, live by this rule. It's how it tastes, not how it looks. So there we are, guys, your finale, a beautiful treacle tart, seasoned with or scented with orange zest, rhubarb compote with your Yorkshire rhubarb ice cream on the side as well. And then just for a little first, we'll just showcase all the dishes for you to prove that we don't always eat them straight away anyway. There we are, guys. I've just changed the fork a little bit just because the potato was starting to come away. So there we are. There's your 3 dishes. And obviously, as always, the iconic Dine at Home chocolate fudge. This is 50-50 dark chocolate with a little bit of milk chocolate, and that's to be enjoyed with a little bit of a little bit of Malden sea salt if you have it. But it's absolutely perfect on its own anyway, and enjoy that with a drink at the end. So that concludes your week 5, I think, of 2021. I will lose count at some stage. And there we are, guys. I'm really happy with this menu. I think it's superb, really seasoned as well. So hope you do too. Join us same time, same place next week. We are welcoming Bart, who was one of the finalists of MasterChef next week. So me and Mike are really looking forward to working alongside him and helping him plough through his sold out week next week. And then join us for obviously the beginning of March, first week in March, where we were doing the pre Mother's Day weekend, which I think we've already sold about 50 boxes for, so that's going really well as well. So have a fantastic weekend, love to all, stay safe and dine at home, guys.